Hello, this is the introduction video to embracing your sensitivity, navigating life as an empath. So I thought I would start off with defining what an empath is and what a highly sensitive person is, so you can see if this course is relevant to yourself or anyone you may know. An empath is a person who is particularly sensitive and aware of the feelings and emotions of others. Now, to be clear, I think this is a completely natural and normal social ability. And some people, I mean, it's just as we connect with other people, we can see body language. We can tell if someone is sad. So that's not particularly what I'm speaking about when I talk about an empath. When I talk about an empath, I mean someone who may be able to actually feel those emotions as their own. And it may be difficult to separate the fact that that person is sad. I'm not sad. I may feel sorry for them, but it just gets kind of blurry inside of what is my own and what is someone else's. Because that's been my experience as I've navigated through my journey, learning how to separate those. And it can be even more complicated for some people. Not only can they pick up on and absorb so deeply the feelings, emotions, experiences of other people, but maybe even more broadly, a collective force of energy. So meaning events that are happening in the world where there is an energy around it. I'll share a story about that later on from my own personal experience, but it's maybe very, very complex and very complicated with the things that we can feel affected by as empaths. So that is an empath. And a highly sensitive person, on my other hand, is someone who is particularly affected by the environment around them specifically. So they may be very sensitive. They would be a person who would be way more likely to have dietary restrictions, be very picky in their eating, textural specifications and preferences. They may be very sensitive to light, very sensitive to temperature changes, environmental allergies as well. They may be very sensitive to noise, just they have trouble kind of harmonizing themselves in situations where things are kind of chaotic. And also exposure to violence, even in television and shows, large crowds, they may be much more prone to anxiety than what might be considered normal. I don't like that term, but because I think that highly sensitive people are perfectly normal, and I think empaths are perfectly normal, which is the reason why I'm teaching this course, is to share tools so we can utilize those true gifts that we have. So that's what an empath and a highly sensitive person in my personal definition of those terms. So the content that I am going to be sharing with you may be relevant if you or someone that you know and care for, if that sounds a little bit like some of them or yourself. So in this, I'll be releasing videos over time. I'll share more about logistics in a moment, but I'm largely speaking from my own perspective, my own experience as a highly sensitive person and an empath throughout childhood, how that looked for me, and then growing into an adult, and how I have just navigated my life, going down my journey of trying to find those tools. Because in the beginning, I did not know how to cope, and I didn't know what was going on, and I thought there was something wrong with me, all those things. And now I feel very empowered and I have the tools that I need, and I feel like I've been able to embrace my sensitivity and the strength that comes with that. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. Why? Why am I doing this? Well, I think it's really important. I think that there are a lot of people who are truly perfectly normal, sensitive human beings and just don't know how to use that gift. And so in that situation, it really doesn't feel like a gift. It really feels like something's wrong. And I've been there. So I'm going to share my journey to help people who may be needing some support with owning and navigating life as an empath. And also, I think it could be completely possible that there's just such a sheer amount of pain and collective trauma in the world right now with the pandemic that's affected us all, that perhaps people who haven't been able to pick up on that before might be able to now, just because there's so much. So I think perhaps the situation that we're in may be triggering and awakening other sensitive individuals in a way that we've never seen before. So I think it's really important to have this information now. Because I've heard from many different people and mental health professionals that the amount of people who are actively seeking support for mental health has drastically increased since the pandemic, and that's understandable. And you deserve to have support, and you deserve to be supported. And granted, nothing that I say here is meant to replace or diagnose or treat any illness, physical, mental, or otherwise. And what I am sharing is going to perhaps empower and supplement other strategies of supporting oneself. And maybe take some pressure off of the mental health system right now, because it can be so difficult to navigate just to get the support that we need. So the more that we can be empowered to seek that support and to support others, the better. That's why I'm making this course available for anyone who has internet access, to alleviate some of that frustration and to empower ourselves. And so some of the logistics, if you're following this live, I will be releasing parts themed videos bi-weekly, once every 2 weeks at maximum. If I get them done sooner, I've just got a lot going on, but if I get them done sooner, I will release them as soon as they're ready. And it just helps me to have a deadline for myself. So no more than 2 weeks per video. You have to wait. And I'll be posting them on YouTube, which is where you should be watching this at this point. And I'll be sharing the links to those videos on Instagram and Facebook. So if you want to connect with me there, I will link my social accounts below. And subscribe to my channel to be notified when those videos are released. And I would love to have 30 more subscribers so I can get to 100. That's my goal. You can help me with that. So excited. And the videos will be available forever, as long as this internet still exists. My YouTube channel still exists as a resource for you. And to give you an idea of the topics that I plan to cover, I'll be sharing my story. I will be talking about being able to feel your own feelings and to tell the difference, some tools to tell the difference between your own feelings and the feelings of others. I'll be talking about self-care as an empath, clearing out stuck energy, or when you feel like there may be times where you are picking up on things from other people, and how to get back to yourself and your own energy and why that's important. Navigating relationships, work as an empath, boundaries, grounding, tools, seeking support that's available, anxiety and overstimulation as an empath, herbal support and plants and flower essences, that's my favorite, and vibrational sensitivity and a correlation and connection to depression. And you also talk about addiction as well, a pattern, a tendency for empaths and why that may be the case and what to do about that. And there may be more things that I find to share with you over the course of the course. We're just seeing how this evolves. I'm not sure exactly how many parts I plan to release. I'll just let you know when it's the end, when I feel complete with my sharing. I'm thinking probably between 5 and 10. We'll see how it evolves. And I hope that this will be able to support someone somewhere to find some light in their situation and to find some assurance and validation. And I would love to hear from you if you feel called to share your own experiences. I welcome that in the comment section of the YouTube videos. I don't have capacity to reply to direct messages very much. If you feel like it's something very particular, then you could message me, but I'm not committing to responding to all of those. I can commit though to interacting in the comments on the YouTube video itself. I wish you the best of love as you navigate your life. Take care.